In the world of music, there's a lot of anomalies. The double-necked guitar, the banjo, the didgeridoo. There's a lot of things to choose from, but the one thing that I want to talk about today, which you already know what it is by the title of this video, is people who can drum and sing, just to run in our normie faces how talented they really are. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 3 examples of 3 artists that I think represent the best drummers who were lead singers as well. The examples I'm giving in this video, these 3 artists don't drum all the time on every single one of their songs. They don't always drum and sing in every single one of their songs, but the examples that I'm going to show you today are some of the most popular songs of all time and some of the best performances of all time, in my opinion. Without further ado, let's talk about one of my obsessions recently, the Eagles. The Eagles were formed back in 1971, and one of the more famous albums that they've ever created was Hotel California, with the title track being probably the most popular song off of that album. A few years ago, the Eagles YouTube channel released a great live version from 1977 of this song, and oh my gosh, I have been watching it on repeat, just in awe, because look how beautiful this afroed man plays this instrument. Another artist I want to point out, we all know him, we all love him, it's our boy Phil Collins. My boy, of course, I personally know him, right? You believe me, for sure. We're talking about the song In the Air Tonight. I grew up listening to this absolute banger of a track, not really knowing what it was about, but just loving the you know which one, you know what I'm talking about. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. As a child, this song was like one of the best pump-up songs that I ever listened to. I played a lot of sports as a kid, so this has always been up there as one of those songs that really gets me going, you know what I mean? And there's nothing like, I've never played drums before, but you know my ass has tried to bang those drums in the way that Phil Collins does. And does it sound horrible every time? You're goddamn right it does. And finally, we're going to talk about one of my favorite artists. I have one of his albums here. Hold on. I have 2 albums by the one, the only Anderson .Paak. One of them is, of course, going to be his 2016 album, Malibu, which in the performance that I'm showing you right now is Tiny Desk. Honestly, arguably one of the best Tiny Desks ever performed, in my opinion. And a lot of people, I don't think that's a hot take. Just look at this. How the why is this man allowed to be gifted with not only one of the best voices in R&B, being able to play drums while doing it, but having the whitest teeth and just the most beautiful man I have ever seen in my life? It's not fair. Anyway, I also have another one of his albums with Bruno Mars, Silk Sonic. I love these 2 albums. Honestly, some of my favorite R&B albums, and I've heard in a while. But to be fair, today's video is not about us ranting about how amazing and unfair it is that Anderson .Paak is a human being, or Don Henley, or Phil Collins himself. Today we're going to be talking about, well, we've already kind of established it, but why it is genuinely so hard for drummers to be lead singers. I'm not coming in here with, like, the most amount of knowledge when it comes to these things. Like, dude, I don't play any instrument. I'm in the middle of learning this godforsaken instrument right now, and my fingers are killing me. I've done like Marty Schwartz's lessons on learning guitar. So far, I've been really good. I know I know E minor, A sus2, A chord, and G chord. I learned the G chord today. I know nothing about music, but I fucking love all of it. So when I come across these artists who I see are arguably some of the most amazing performances to see, being able to drum and sing at the same time, it gets me wondering why we don't see this a lot. And I feel like there's a very simple answer to this, is that being a rhythm player in a band, whether that be bass or drums, it is so hard to be able to keep that rhythm consistent while being able to keep your vocals at a good point, regardless if you're talented enough at it or not. I mean, most of you may know, if you watch any live performance from like any band, their drummer is struggling back there. They're performing an hour and a half, 2 hours a night sometimes. Dude, they're crying. Their forearms are out to here massive because of the amount of work they're just like throwing in on that drum kit, baby. I think that's number 1. I also think that maybe people just don't want to do it. I mean, to be fair, if I were to be in a band, I wouldn't want to play the one instrument. Well, I mean, all of them provide key components to the structure of the song, but to keep rhythm, you got to have the drums and the bass be relatively on the same page, and if they mess up, you're going to hear it a lot more than you would if like the guitar plucks the wrong string at the wrong time. Also, add on top of that, you're trying to make sure like like when you watch a live performance of like someone singing and dancing, 99% of the time it's lip synced because they're jostling around and they're going to sound different and weird than what the actual track sounds like in the studio because they didn't dance around in the studio with their headphones on, like doing the choreography mid singing, because that would just sound like shit. So now you're adding you trying to keep this tempo and this bass up, and it's just like super painful to do. This isn't a very insightful video, but I just want to give some love to the drummer lead singers of all bands and all generations. Frankly, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of you. Let me have your powers, please. I love music. Can I play a lick of it? No, I can't. So when I see this, it makes me as a normie here just a music enjoyer who will literally sit down and watch YouTube videos for hours of people just reacting to music I like because I want to hear their thoughts on it. And they're like strumming guitars and they can sing, and I'm over here like, I can't do any of this shit, but I love this so much. And then these beautiful dudes, these voluptuous men come up here and are just banging these drum kits and belting out some of the best songs of all time. We're gonna look back, what, 100 years from now, when anyone watching this video isn't alive anymore at the time I'm making it, and they're gonna watch this live version from 1977 of Hotel California and go, holy shit, that is a work of art. They're gonna do the same thing with Phil Collins' In the Air Tonight live performance that I'm showing up on screen that I have in this whole video. Also, Anderson .Paak's Tiny Desk is out of this world phenomenal. If you have not watched that, if you haven't watched any Tiny Desk, it's like the modern day MTV Unplugged. Do yourself a favor. Go check those out. I'm sure if you're here watching this, you probably watched it. If not, seriously, do yourself a favor. If you're an enjoyer of music, you will not, there's a rabbit hole to go down with that channel. And it's a scary one, but wonderful at the same time. Needless to say, this isn't an in-depth video. I just want to, like I said previously, show some love to these dudes who are making one of the hardest things to do in music, which is basically play two instruments at once when it's the rhythm and the vocals. When it's different when it comes to like a guitar. If you're able to, I don't want this to come off as me saying playing the guitar and singing is easy. That's not what I'm saying. I just think playing the drums or a bass guitar and singing as well is a lot harder because you're doing a whole different thing than what a lead guitar would be doing for the song. You're keeping the rhythm. You're keeping the bass line of what is supposed to happen throughout the song is based on you. At least that's what I think. I've never studied music theory. I've just listened to a shit ton of it. And that's just kind of my thoughts from what I've looked up, from what I've seen from interviews with these guys, and just people talking about it in general. It's not an easy feat. It's way more common to see guitar players be singers because it's a completely different instrument and a completely different role in the band that you're providing. I'm not sure how to really end this video. I'm not sure if it was a good video. I enjoyed making it though. It's I got to just listen to some of my favorite music just because for a video, and I'm totally okay with that. I know none of my subscribers all of them are here for gaming content, and this is far from it. So I don't imagine this video to get a lot of views. I don't imagine it to get a lot of attention, but if it does, I appreciate you sticking around for a while. Then you know what, we're gonna be posting more stuff about music on this channel. I want to show appreciation. I want to do some breakdowns of some of my favorite bands. I want to do some breakdowns on Tragically Hip. I want to do some stuff on R&B artists, some other rock albums. I've been really on a rock kick lately. Okay. Maybe I need some water. If you're watching this video, what's one, do you guys find this, objectively speaking, if you think that playing the drums and singing isn't a hard thing to do, I think you're objectively wrong, but I want to know your guys' thoughts. Is there any other artists that you could highlight that are insanely good at drumming and singing at the same time? These are the top 3 that I've listened to the most, so I just wanted to point out just some that I think just deserve more praise for what they do, because man, it's unbelievable. It truly is. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like this really thrown together background that I tried to go for here, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Later.